So I'm here at the Columbus Museum of Art, and they are having an Impressionist and Expression, a Realist, Impressionist, Expressionist, Post-Impressionist show that they are calling their Van Gogh show, but it features much more than just Van Gogh. They've also got a Millet, they've got Mauve, they've got Henri de Lautrec, various others from that era. And the museum entrance this way. So let's go this way. And now I'm in the neighborhood where Van Gogh killed himself, and you can't see my mouth move, so I can just pretend that I'm saying anything and come back to this over and over again and pretend that I'm narrating what's going on, because that's hilarious. Yeah, this thing. And then here we've got the cellar by Millet. In the back has a man plowing the field, and in the foreground we've got the man planting the field. And really nice, just so damn beautiful. His feet are like the same color as the ground, as though he is a part of the earth in which he works. And it was this particular painting and another one by Millet, which I can't think of, that really inspired Vincent to just start painting workers in the field, people toiling. And this is Anton Mauve, known as Cousin Mauve, also known as Mauve Van Gogh. And he is the person who said to Van Gogh, "You should paint." And you can see that he was quite a realist painter. He took a lot of effort to produce the paintings that he did, to produce the depth and vividness. I mean, just look at this piece of wood. It looks like a piece of wood. That has just been cut and is being taken on, like it looks exactly like what it is. And this stuff was very useful up until around the 1890s, when the photograph and then the color photograph really came into play. Because there was no point in having a painting of something that looked just like something, because you could get the thing that actually was the thing. And then shortly before he began painting, Van Gogh took many of his drawings to his cousin Anton Mauve, who was a realist painter, and Cousin Mauve looked at it and said, "Oh my gosh, why don't you take up painting?" And then here's Potato Eaters, and it's just a family of people. And the only food they have is potatoes. And you can see the lamp above the table, which of course gives a premonition to the night cafe. Here we've got a sketch of the famous portrait of Dr. Gauguin, which apparently he took as part of payment for treatment for Vincent. And it's just so thorough. And then here we've got on the outskirts of Paris. This is like right before Vincent figured out what the hell he was doing. Like, this is like 5 minutes before. And he's like right on the verge of like that sublimation that we all know. And there on the horizon just overhead is a crow, as we know from Wheatfield with Crows, his last piece. That's an ominous sign. And we see the figure of the man with the pipe. And it's just made out of the simplest strokes. But he looks, from right here, so much like a person, it's unbelievable. But you're getting just the tiniest bit closer and you see it's just brush, it's just a dragging of the strokes of the brush. And the hand, you can see, is just one drag of the brush. And it's just this beautiful piece where he's capturing the reflection of everything off of everything. Like the colors of the bridge we see are the colors of the water, and the colors of the water are actually the colors of the pink hues in the sky, and the pink hues in the sky are actually reflections from the atmosphere. And then it carries over to the color of the plants, and the way that the plants appear next to the bridge, and we can see the reflection of the water on the bridge running all along. You've got these people in the distance over here throwing skulls, and you've got this man over here on his own rowboat. And then this one is the road to the outskirts of Paris, and there's this fellow in the middle of the pane who has a red beard. He's wearing this straw hat, and it actually looks like Vincent asked this man to wear his own clothes so that he could paint himself walking this way. And so this is an expressionist piece of an impressionist state, and so it's expressionistic impressionism. This is an early expressionist piece. It's done in the same style as impressionism, but he has posed the model to fit his own intention. And so instead of taking his impression, he takes his expression. And the thing that's particularly interesting about Vincent's later paintings from the last 5 years is that they are so bright. Like, they seriously look like they were painted yesterday. Like, there is so much color and so much life and so much vividity in here. Like, it looks like the paint is still wet. It looks like if you touched it, it would smear. It doesn't. It seems unreal that this painting should be over 100 years old. 125 years old. 35. And now that may look like a seaside, but this is Mauve in Paris. Those are stairs. That's a staircase in Mauve. And here's a piece that Vincent did of his final neighborhood. And now I'm in the neighborhood where Van Gogh killed himself, and you can't see my mouth move, so I can just pretend that I'm saying anything and come back to this over and over again and pretend that I'm narrating what's going on, because that's hilarious. Yeah, you know, this thing. It was near these houses where he would die. Well, where he would shoot himself and then he'd wind up in a hospital some slight distance away, and then he'd die. And this is that same final neighborhood where he lived. And you can see the way that he captured the shadow under the cloud is that he actually just made a giant stroke, and it's actually the shadow that's under the cloud that's giving the shadow under the cloud. I can see the image here in the video that does not look like the image on the painting, because the image in the video looks like it's actually a bunch of trees, whereas in the painting you can see all the brush strokes, all the branches up at the tops of the trees. And you can really see Vincent's influence here on Monet. The will to not make sense, to not join things to things. And here's Pissarro's Meadow at Aragne. And you can see that it's based on the Gleaners, like very obviously the poses and the positions of the people, and look at these cows. Like they're the simplest series of strokes. And you can see all the apples in the apple tree. Are those blossoms? No, those are apples, I think. And then this is an Mongo man showing haystacks. And then here we have Jules Batin-Lapage showing ripe wheat. Yeah. And then you come to Van Gogh's wheat. And it seriously looks like it was just damn well painted yesterday. And this one doesn't have a line. We can get as close as we want to it. And you can really, really see how vivid and bright each little stroke is. You can really, like, it is so bright. You wouldn't believe, if you were here, you would not believe how bright this is. This camera doesn't do this justice. And over here we've got the head of a peasant woman. And she's just some lady. You can see that she's black. And she is beautiful. They're flecks. I don't know if those are natural to the painting or if something has happened to it over the years, but they seem to be flecks of like gold dust maybe, just scattered over the painting. And it gives it this, like she's got sweat coming off her or something. It's beautiful. And then this is what Gauguin was doing. And his contemporaries said that they look like children's drawings. And then we have what Van Gogh was doing, and people were saying that they looked like a blind man's paintings and this sort of thing. And so the two of them were actually quite ready to work with each other because they were the only ones who thought that they were doing good. Although Gauguin could sell. Gauguin could sell. And this is a model for a monument of Alexandre Dumas by Albert Ernest Collier-Belleux. Probably the most famous black writer in all white literature. Wrote The Count of Monte Cristo, wrote Three Musketeers, among others. Considered one of the great masters of literary expression. And then we've got another Alexandre Dumas. Like, look at that coif. That is a giant afro. Oui, monsieur, un temps je peux. Bust of Alexandre Dumas. And here we've got a poster. This is one of the cheaper posters available by only Lautrec. And you can see that it doesn't look like a person that he painted. It actually looks like he threw a dress down, and then he threw a hat next to it, and a muff, and then he painted those, drew those, and then he drew a woman's body in it, like a woman's hands and face coming out of the thing. But it's like she isn't really in that. Like it's just clothes lying there. And I say this is one of the cheaper ones because the valuable ones are, of course, for the Moulin Rouge show hall and brothel. And now I'm in the neighborhood where Van Gogh killed himself, and you can't see my mouth move, so I can just pretend that I'm saying anything and come back to this over and over again and pretend that I'm narrating what's going on, because that's hilarious. Yeah, you know, this thing. Well, that's the show. I hope you had fun. I hope you go and enjoy some tea. I hope you enjoy commiserating with some. I mean, I realize that we can't get too close to people, but if you've got a circle of friends who you're able to get close with, you know, go spend some time with your friends and just talk about things. That's the show. It'll be a little while before the next episode. I'm going to be working on some writing and some other projects that I have put on the back burner, which is why it took me so long to get to doing this episode in the first place. And then I felt like, well, I really ought to do an episode, shouldn't I? So it'll be a little while. I will put out a couple of little things here and there. They will not be full episodes of the ZERØ show. But I hope you had fun with the show, and I hope you have a good time out there. Stay safe and good luck.
So Zero Skull says Brian Greene is a charlatan. Thank you, Zero Skull. I appreciate that.